Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Ever you feel like you're just kind of going through the motions, like something more you're meant
Oh,
for?
yeah.
Well, this deep dive, we're all about that feeling, unlocking the power of purpose. We're
Nice.
diving into a classic this time, The Power of Purpose, by Richard J. Leiter and David A. Shapiro.
Okay.
Now, this is the fourth edition, which I think already tells you something. It keeps hitting a nerve with people.
Right. It's amazing how much it resonates.
If you're searching for that roadmap to a more meaningful life, this book might just be it. Hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future deep dives. Book link, by the way, is down in the description.
Definitely check it out.
So what really struck me right off the bat was how they define purpose.
Yeah.
It's not about, some grand destiny or
It's
anything.
not some big, overwhelming thing.
Yeah, they say it's more like the essence of who we are and what makes us rise every day.
The essence. I like that.
It's like that spark, right? Gets out of bed.
Right.
But it's more than just motivation. They tie it to actually using your skills to make a difference for others.
Exactly. And that's where it gets interesting. They break down this big idea of purpose into two types, big P and little p.
Okay, big P, little B, I like this.
Big P is like your overarching life mission, which, yeah, can be kind of overwhelming to think about.
Sure, yeah.
Little p is more about finding purpose in the everyday, those small actions that add up to something bigger.
So it's not about, waiting for that lightning bolt moment where you find your grand destiny.
Exactly. They give this example. One of the authors, Dave, he doesn't have a clear big P, but he lives his little p every day. As a teacher, mentoring colleagues, reflecting on his growth.
Those are all meaningful actions, though, right?
And they give him purpose.
See, that makes me feel better because it makes purpose feel so much more attainable.
It is attainable.
One of the things that really got to me in the book was the story of Ed Rapp. He was a successful executive,
Okay, yeah.
diagnosed with ALS.
Oh, wow.
But instead of giving up, he used that to find a new purpose, raising millions for ALS research.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Totally. Like, what if our challenges can actually point us towards a deeper sense of meaning?
Absolutely. The book talks about how purpose isn't always like a sudden revelation.
Sometimes it's more subtle.
It's often about recognizing those patterns in your life, things you're naturally drawn to.
Right.
They actually have this list of signs to look for.
Signs. Okay, I like this.
They say, ask yourself, what gifts do people say you have?
Mm-hmm.
What activities make you completely lose track of time?
Those are good ones.
What are you passionate about? What are your core values? All clues.
Like you're a detective for your own soul.
Right.
So the book also lays out these three stages of purpose.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about these stages.
It starts with this inward focus, uncovering your own path, then shifts to making a difference for others.
And
And then, for some, it leads to connecting to a purpose that's even bigger than themselves, maybe even spiritual.
that's pretty profound.
What I like is they don't treat it like a hierarchy. Like you got to get to that top level.
It's not about being better than someone else.
Exactly. It's more about honoring where you are in your own journey.
Love that.
But here's the thing. The book really makes it clear. Purpose isn't passive.
It's got to be active.
Yeah, it's a verb. They talk about this exercise called calling cards.
Calling cards. Interesting. What are those?
They're a way to translate those feelings about purpose into, actual action.
That makes sense. It's easy to get stuck in the thinking part.
Totally. This gives you a framework for identifying your natural preferences,
Okay.
and then you can figure out how you can use those things in your life. Work, relationships, you name it.
So it's like turning your passions into a roadmap. I like that.
And then they take it a step further. They have this idea of purpose projects.
Purpose projects. Okay, what are we talking about here?
Basically, it's about experimentation. You create these mini missions where you get to test out your purpose in the real world.
So it's not just theory.
Exactly.
They give you some examples in the book, right?
Oh, yeah, tons. Like there's one where Dave, he's bringing philosophical discussions to high school students.
Wow, that's cool.
And then there's this chaplain. He created this whole team to provide spiritual and emotional support.
No.
And even an entrepreneur started an innovation lab to help local businesses.
So all different kinds of purpose projects.
The takeaway is don't just think about it, do it. Find those little ways to use your gifts.
I like that. Actionable advice.
And here's the thing. When people live with purpose, it doesn't just stay with them.
It affects others. The ripple effect.
They bring up those blue zones again, the areas in the world where people live the longest.
And one key factor.
Strong sense of purpose and community connection.
Interesting how those two go together.
So it's not just about you being fulfilled. It's about creating a web of purpose.
It benefits everyone.
Okay, that makes sense. But here's my question. How does purpose affect us? Like on a deeper level.
Well, the book gets into some pretty fascinating research on purpose in the brain.
Okay.
They found that people with a stronger sense of purpose, they may be more resilient. specifically to cognitive decline, like Alzheimer's.
Wow, so purpose could protect our brains as we age.
It's a possibility.
That's amazing. And it raises all these questions, right, about the mind, our actions, our well-being.
Big questions.
And speaking of big questions, there's another theme in the book that keeps coming up, compassion.
Passion, absolutely.
They talk about it being a core part of living a meaningful life.
Right.
And they have this quote from the Dalai Lama. I love it. It says, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion.
That's a good one.
And there's research to back it up, showing how compassion benefits our mental and physical health, lowers stress, strengthens our connections.
It even boosts your immune system. It's crazy.
So, if purpose is about making a difference with our gifts, could compassion be like that guiding force?
Interesting question. Like, if everyone has a purpose, could compassion be the thing that connects us all?
It's a possibility. But here's where I get stuck. If purpose is already inside us, how do we actually unlock it?
That's a big one. And the book really wrestles with that question. And they say instead of trying to find our purpose, maybe we should focus on creating the conditions for it to emerge.
So it's less about searching and more about cultivating. What does that look like, though?
That's what we're going to explore next. The book offers some really practical tips for how to nurture those conditions for purpose to blossom.
I'm ready to dive in.
Me too. Well, those purpose projects we were just talking about, those are a really good place to start. It's all about, finding those small ways you can put your passions and skills to work.
Okay, but how do we even come up with those ideas? Like, where do we even begin?
Well, the book suggests starting with those signs.
Oh, right.
Those signs we talked about before. Your gifts, the things you love doing, those passions, values. Think about how you can use those to launch a project.
Okay, so let's say someone's really into cooking. Like, they love it, and they also love bringing people together.
Okay, yeah, I see where you're going.
What kind of purpose project could they make?
Perfect example. Maybe they start a community cooking class, or volunteer at a shelter, cook meals, or even just start a blog, share their recipes and their stories.
It's about combining those things, right?
It is. Align the project with their passion and find a way to make a positive impact, even a small one.
That's really cool. It's taking something you love and then sharing it.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment,
Yeah.
That's the beauty of these purpose projects. They're low stakes. Just try things out, see what sticks.
Like dipping your toes in the water before you, go all in.
Right.
You know what else the book talks about? The whole community aspect of purpose. It's not just you by yourself, right?
Oh, definitely not.
I talk about those blue zones again.
Yeah.
How having that shared purpose is part of why people live so long.
And are so happy.
When you have a community that supports your purpose and makes you feel like you belong, it amplifies everything.
And it creates this chain reaction of good stuff.
Makes me think of that proverb.
Which one?
You know, the one about going fast versus going far?
Oh, yeah.
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Perfect. Perfectly sums it up.
It really does. And community, it doesn't have to be like where you live.
Right.
It could be online, shared interests, just having friends who support you.
That's community too.
Another thing that really stuck with me.
Yeah.
The book talks about being kind to yourself. Like how self-compassion is actually super important.
Oh, I love that.
Because you can't give what you don't have.
Exactly.
If you're always beating yourself up or judging yourself, it's harder to connect with that, inner spark.
Hard to feel that purpose.
So you have to create a good environment inside yourself first.
True.
Then you can really step into your purpose.
Self-compassion. It's about treating yourself the way you treat a friend.
Right. With kindness.
Kindness. Understanding. Accepting your flaws, but also, celebrating your strengths.
And remembering you're always growing.
Always.
Okay, so we've got purpose projects, community, and self-compassion. What else can we actually do to, grow that purpose? What does the book say?
They talk a lot about reflection.
Oh, okay. What do you mean?
Just taking time
Okay.
to step back, and ask those big questions. What's working? What isn't? What makes you happy? What do you want to change?
So it's not just about doing.
Right. Got to think about it too.
Got to course correct if you need to.
That's it. Reflecting helps us stay true to our values, see if anything's off, make adjustments.
It's like checking your internal compass.
Make sure you're still heading in the right direction.
They also talk about mentors.
Oh, yeah.
Finding people who inspire you, who are living their purpose, because they can guide you.
And support you, keep you motivated.
So surrounding yourself with good people is a big part of it.
Huge. Mentors have those insights. They can share what they've learned, help you through the tough parts.
Like they've walked the path before you.
Exactly. And it can go both ways,
Right.
When you share your journey and help others, it makes your own purpose feel even stronger.
You know what's striking me? It's like all these things, they connect. It's not about one big thing.
Nope.
It's about weaving purpose into everything. Your actions, relationships, just your daily life.
That's a great way to put it. It's a process. It unfolds over time. And the more you embrace it, the more meaningful your life becomes.
The journey is the destination,
I
right?
love that.
It really is. And, the book leaves us with this really interesting thought.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
It's not just about, personal fulfillment, the power of purpose. It's about unlocking this deeper potential we have to actually, make the world better.
Make a difference. I like that.
So it's like recognizing that our purpose is tied to the well-being of everyone.
Yeah, and to the world around us.
Our actions matter, even the small ones.
They do. It's all about the ripple effect. When we live with purpose, we inspire others. And then together, we can actually create a more compassionate, a more just world.
Man, when you put it like that, it's inspiring, but also kind of a lot of pressure.
It is a responsibility, but think of it as an opportunity. We each have the power to make a difference. And when what we do aligns with our purpose, it's like this wellspring of energy and creativity opens up.
So it's not about waiting for someone else to fix things. It's about us stepping up and taking action.
Exactly. It's about owning it, recognizing that we all have a hand in creating the world we want to live in.
Something that keeps coming back to me,
Yeah.
that idea of shifting from finding purpose to creating it.
Oh, right.
Like we're not just out there searching for something that's already made.
It's not like a scavenger hunt.
We're actually shaping our own meaning, our own purpose.
You got it. The book makes it clear. Purpose isn't some static thing. It changes. It's a process. We cultivate it through our experiences, our relationships, the choices we make every day.
So it's not about getting it right on the first try. It's more about being open to the journey.
That's it. Let it unfold. And that's what's so cool about it.
Yeah.
We're always learning. We're growing, adapting.
Okay, so as we're wrapping up this deep dive into the power of purpose, what are some things you hope people listening will take away?
I hope they remember that purpose is for everyone. It's not about being famous or doing some big, amazing thing. It's about finding meaning in your everyday life and using what you're good at to make a difference, however you can.
And that it's not about finding this one perfect path, but about, like we said, creating those conditions for purpose to grow.
Yes, and that it's a journey, not a destination. So embrace the process, all the growth and self-discovery and giving back that comes with it.
This has been such a great conversation. It's really made me think, and I hope it's done the same for everyone listening.
Me too.
If you want more on this topic, we've got a link to The Power of Purpose down in the show notes.
And tell us what you think. What parts really stood out for you? Share those haha moments in the comments. We love hearing from you.
Thanks for joining us on this exploration of purpose. Remember, the power to live a life that's meaningful, that's fulfilling, it's inside all of us. Until next time, keep seeking, keep growing, and keep giving.